All right. We are on the draw in match 4 of this league with Chart and Shoal Delver. This is exciting. I like this hand. I would say it's a keep. We've got a couple lands. Scour's going to let us get a relatively early Mandrills out. We've got Bolt, we've got Denial, we've got Snapcaster Mage. It's got a lot of good cards. Pretty versatile, I'd say. This hand is going to do it, put up at least a bit of a fight against aggro. It's going to be at least somewhat decent against mid-range. We're just going to play out a Misty, pass the turn, hold up Thought Scour. Maybe we'll end up bolting on their end step. Maybe we'll just go for the Thought Scour. Either way, drawing the second fetch land means we can have a very early Hooting Mandrills if we so choose. With Stubborn Denial up. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. That's annoying. That's going to make it a lot harder for us to do what we want to do. We unfortunately can't just get a Steam Vents or Stomping Ground and bolt this Thalia because we won't be able to pay for its tax. We also won't be able to cast Thought Scour after it resolves. Second red source or second green source. Probably the red source. We'll grab a Steam Vents. Pay shock. We're going to Scour right here. We can't Scour after this resolve, so we may as well do it first. Hey there, Tarmogoyf. Do I want to just slam Tarmogoyf, or do I want to play out a Hooting Mandrills? I kind of want to just slam the Tarmogoyf. Our opponent looks like they're playing either humans or green-white taxes. Thalia's in both. I'm a little surprised. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure both archetypes run both basics. If we play out Mandrills, we can't do anything to deal with this anyways. So our threats effectively both cost 2 mana. Given that Mandrills technically can cost 1, but it won't matter. So I think I'm going to grab a basic forest and play out Tarmogoyf. If they're running Path to Exile, we can't stop it. Because even if we go for Mandrills and hold up Stubborn Denial, we won't be able to cast it because of this. Gavany Township. Don't think Humans plays that. At least 5-color Humans doesn't. Could still be a Taxes deck. Could also be maybe Vizier Company. Gavany Township is, in general, just a good card, so I'm not going to read too much into that. Thalia, Heretic Cathar. Steam Vents is going to enter the battlefield tapped. No, we're not going to shock for actual no reason. Thalia is going to make it so that that doesn't matter. Now, we have the ability to bolt or denial. We can also just get in for 4. I think we want to start clocking here. Sooner or later, we're going to want to cast Hooting Mandrills, preferably sooner, but I'd rather fire off a bolt first, I think. We're going to wait until the opponent's turn because I want to see what they're up to. Another fetch for our opponent. Sure. Maybe it's just a green-white taxes, or maybe just a kind of good stuffy aggro deck. Obzon Falconeer. I have no idea what's going on. It's official. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, so they can't Outlast yet, so that's fine to resolve. That combos nicely with Gavany Township. But it's also just a 2-3. I guess 2-3 isn't the worst size they could have. But if we bolt Thalia, next turn we have Snap Bolt available if we want to go that route. And that feels better to me than trying to take out this Obzon Falconeer. The opponent can't path until we take out Thalia. Once we do take out Thalia, maybe they path our Tarmogoyf. Thalia is gone, Goyf gets exiled, we get a basic island. Then we get to untap with 4 mana up. Thalia is gone, that means we have Mandrills, and then Snap Bolt, or we can cast Denial since we will not have used it yet. Maybe we go Mandrills, Delver, hold up Denial. We have a lot of options once Thalia gets off the table, so I think getting Thalia off the table is going to be a priority. Especially since it's pretty likely that they're going to be attacking with these 2 Thalias. We're going to want to get rid of the Guardian of Thraben prior to it dealing its 2 damage. It'll certainly be annoying that... Oh, actually, we have a Tarfire in the bin that I didn't notice before. Also, Chart, of course, was milled by Thought Scour. Probably should have been looking out for what we milled. However, at the time, I was focused more on casting Hooting Mandrill, so it wasn't that relevant to me. The opponent's paying costs. Something's going to happen. They probably can't yet. That, to me, screams that they have a path. Do I take out this Thalia anyways? Maybe we take out this Thalia. That doesn't enable us to Snap Bolt, though, and I don't really like that. If we take out this Thalia, they path Goyf, we take 3... We're going to have 4 lands going into next turn. We cast Mandrills and we Snap Bolt this Thalia, which means we Snap Bolt first. Snapcaster Mage enters the battlefield tapped, but then Mandrills gets to enter untapped. I think I want to take this out, even if they have path for Goyf. That goes down. We're going to take 3, and we may or may not see a path to exile. It also might be coming on our upkeep. Nope. Alright, what's the plan? We're probably going to start with Swing for 5. That seems like a pretty good place to go. Especially since we still have Stubborn Denial up. Actually, I don't think I want to put Stubborn Denial down as long as we have this 5/6. Now we will. We'll deal 5. The opponent's going to go down to 7. That's fantastic. Oh no, they want to chump. That's perfectly fine. I feared this at least somewhat because of Gavany Township. They could give their entire board flying by putting a +1/+1 counter on everything. That's at least somewhat scary. The opponent, however, is playing it much more safe. I actually kind of want to flood the board. What are the chances that... would we call this a +1/+1 counter deck because of Obzon Falconeer? I feel like Falconeer would have a second E before the R, so maybe it's just Falconer. I don't actually know how you pronounce that word. I think I've always said Falconeer. But, yeah, that's not that important. So, if we flood the board, what are the chances our opponent's running a board wipe? Probably very low. But they might have Settled the Wreckage, the new one from Ixalan, which only exiles attacking creatures, which means the opponent's board would be safe, so I could understand if they run that. They probably don't, and we only have to play around that. The easy way to play around that is by not attacking with literally everything we have, so I think we're just going to flood the board here. Let's delve smart. They have creature instant land. Misty Rainforests are going to go. Chart, of course, and Tarfire are high priority things to stay. Tarfire is almost as good as Bolt with Snapcaster Mage, so I could see delving the Bolt. Am I willing to get rid of Chart, of course? Probably because we have this Serum Visions to grow the Goyf back to 5/6. That lets us leave Stubborn Denial, which I kind of like having in there. Notable that we can't Visions and snap something back next turn. The opponent's on Obzon. This is exciting. Oh, they paid Shock. Maybe there's a big turn coming. They paid shock and then they didn't do anything. Well, they didn't attack. They may still cast things. They chose not to. What does Delver see? Delver sees a Vapor Snag. That's probably bad news for the opponent. Now, they only have the 2 white sources. And if I am correct, I'm just going to take a quick look at Settle the Wreckage. I believe that is a double white card, which it is. Therefore, the opponent can't have both Settle the Wreckage when we swing with the entire team and Mana Tithe to counter our Snap Denial, which makes me want to get right into the red zone. I don't think there's anything we need to play around here. Does this have first strike? It does, but they know about Vapor Snag, so activating this Gavany Township seems awful in an attempt to block the Mandrills to take it out with Thalia. So I don't think we have very much to fear here. Here's a path. Am I going to Snap Denial that? Probably. It's probably worth giving up the rest of the turn to keep our Goyf here. Goyf's pretty good. This does mean that the opponent gets to take out Mandrills with this Thalia, but in order to do that, they have to take 7. And that's probably just fine. Oh, we have to click that first. I forgot how to use stuff. We could instead have taken out Thalia with the Tarfire, but I don't like that quite as much. Means we're basically trading Goyf for Mandrills. We do get a land in the case that we lose Goyf, but I think I'd rather have Goyf. Goyf's just harder to block. It also puts the opponent into a position where Delver's lethal. Do they have another path? Nope. Oh, a Coco. I kind of walked into that. Then again, them holding up 4 mana while having a Gavany Township is not included in the 4 mana. I might have botched that. Gavany Township requires all of these lands. Okay. So they can do some trading here. Mandrills is going down. I wonder if they can get lethal on the crackback here. I'm tapped out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gavany Township makes for 8. Okay, so they need something decent in their hand to make this lethal for the opponent. We don't quite have lethal ourselves because Delver plus Simic Charm is only 6, but then again we could Vapor Snag something if their hand is literal nothing. If they show us the card and they don't have a way to block or interact otherwise with Delver, then we do have lethal. The opponent paying cost means they're probably about to show us that card. Let's see what we got. The opponent thinking. Okay, now they don't want to play the card. That's fine. They also don't want to attack. That seems at least somewhat wise. Pretty sure... Oh, well. Alright. Alright. Versatile stuff. Simic Charm protects our dudes while also essentially being a bolt. Lightning Bolt takes out their dudes while being a bolt. Vapor Snag slows down dudes while also dealing 1 damage. These 3 cards here are probably going to give us lethal. I don't know if I actually want to just go for it, though. What are the chances? They might have a path. If I Simic Charm the Delver here and they have path, I'm going to be really sad. We're in a great spot. I'm not going to do that. Pass to the opponent. If they have a Coco or they go for Township, I'm just going to kill them. Fantastic. Boltface snags something. No need to leave ourselves open to the chance that they can interact with our Simic Charm when we don't have to, given that we drew the Bolt, and also our board was pretty good. Goyf and Snapcaster Mage could block for long enough for Delver to just do the job itself. If the opponent went for something there, then I could see going for the Simic Charm to take lethal, but if you don't have to, why bother? Now, I'm going to assume the opponent's on some sort of Obs on Humans deck. So how are we going to fight that? These look pretty good. Nux? Do I have a plan for humans with this list? I don't think so. I probably have one for Traverse. Do I have a plan for humans with Traverse? I feel like I got around to that. I'm looking at my spreadsheet and I'm not seeing a plan for humans. So maybe I thought about it and I just didn't do it. Alright, that's fine. How do we fight humans decks? How good's Blood Moon? Blood Moon's probably good. Maybe just 2? I could live with 2. Pyroclasm seems fantastic. Obviously, we're boarding in the sweepers. Huntmaster is good against creature decks. Mountain gonna help us out with the velocity thing, not die to their early aggression. EE should serve as a decent board wipe. Is Dismember really going to be helpful here? It might. Don't want Flash Freeze, don't want Ceremonious Rejection. Considering these 4, Nux is big and beefy. The opponent might have Ghost Quarter, particularly if they're running Knight of the Reliquary, but I don't think we're going to see that much mana disruption from the opponent. And that makes Knuckleblade at least somewhat decent. Dismember costs life, but it's also really good at killing things. Ancient Grudge and Revelry are only here in case the opponent's running Vial. We did see Coco, so I'm going to assume they're not on Vial. Assuming they're not on Vial also makes Shoal a bit worse, and given that we boarded in these non-blue cards, I'm going to say keeping Shoal is going to be pretty hard. Non-zero amount of Mandrills can go. Perilous Voyage. Do I want to cut Charta Courses? I don't know. Thought Scour can go. We're going to get very interacty. A couple more cards. It probably is just the best move to cut the Charta Courses, but I kind of want to cut Simic Charm, because I'm not expecting that much interaction, and I might go with Nux as the last card. Nux, maybe Vapor Snag. I think I'd rather have the Vapor Snag. Maybe one of the Charta Courses. I mean, they're not going to be that good. And I'm expecting Knuckleblade to be at least somewhat decent. I don't think our opponent's going to be that aggressive. Maybe we just saw a very slow hand in game 1. Speaking of hands, how good is this? We're on the draw. Certainly makes it better. Is turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Delver, or possibly turn 1 Bolt, turn 2 Delver good enough to make this hand a keep? We're probably not going to be casting any of these 3 for a long time. We're not going to be getting a green land or a green producing land off of this fetch, and Blood Moon is a world away. But these 3 cards are very, very decent. Do I really want very decent when I'm casting one CMC spell a turn? I did throw the Mountain in. We have more lands than we normally do. Is this a keep? We bolt one of their threats and then we try to race. How well can we race? We have 2 Delvers. I'm gonna do it. Let's see how it goes. I think if any of these cards were something that didn't cost 1 mana, this hand would be a much easier mulligan. Okay, Blood Moon makes me not very happy. We're going to go with Delver of Secrets. Make sure we have a red land for Lightning Bolt. We're ahead on tempo. That's good. Behind on life. Ahead on tempo. Step 1. Get on board. Step 2. Delver of Secrets sees something amazing. Cavern of Souls. Makes me kind of wish I boarded out some mana leaks. Then again, they hit Coco, so that's not the worst. 2 mana, the opponent with a Thalia's Lieutenant. I like that they played that one early. Flooded Strand, not going to reveal it. Very happy to have it, though. Play that out. Do I want to take this out immediately? Right now, it trades with Delver. Am I okay with that? If this trades with Delver and then we get a breeding pool, I'm probably really happy. If they don't take the trade, maybe we just play a Delver and hold up the Flooded Strand for Lightning Bolt? Do I do that even if they... No, if they do take the trade, I want to play Goyf to be more mana efficient. In this scenario, I think we're going to play it like that. Pass to the opponent. Oh, actually, that might have been a terrible idea. I should have started by getting a breeding pool. This was a mistake. I needed to hold this up so that we could bolt more safely. Champion of the Parish. I'd actually rather bolt that than this. So I think for now that's fine. Thalia's Lieutenant is going to get a counter. Would I rather bolt that than this? Right now they're basically the same card. Second Thalia's Lieutenant. Okay, so now we're going to cut ourselves off of Tarmogoyf and Mandrills due to misplaying with our lands because this Lieutenant's going to go. Or is it the Champion? The Lieutenant's slightly better because it has an extra point of power. So I believe that's what we're going to do. We're also going to hope that these Delvers transform. Champion of the Parish is going to become a 3/3. Pyroclasm, not going to cast it. Will reveal. Actually, do I cast it? It only deals with one of their creatures. That's an awful play. In for 6. See, if we could follow that up by casting a Tarmogoyf or a Mandrills because I would have gotten the breeding pool, we'd be in an excellent spot. However, I messed up. So now we pay for it. I don't really want to hold back Delvers to block because that Champion of the Parish is only going to get bigger. So I think we are better off racing. I have to assume they don't have a creature, right? Because they didn't play it and both of those creatures get bigger when they play a human. Alright, so hitting Bolt was fantastic. We're going to get in for another 6. Pass to the opponent. And we might end up bolting some face. Path, yes, that's going to get me a basic forest. I would love for that to resolve. Thank you. And now that we're much more interested in the long game, I'm pretty sure we're going to be bolting this Champion of the Parish. The opponent currently doesn't have the ability to play a human at instant speed. At least none of the cards that I can think of that they would be running are instant speed. So I'm going to do that. And our position looks much better than it did previously. They know about Pyroclasm, so they probably don't want to go that hard on the board. On the other hand, Reflector Mage? Possibly. 4 mana? I don't know what they're doing. We might end up Pyroclasming, but I feel like they're not going to just flood the board out because they know about the Pyroclasm. Reflector Mage, that's fine because it's bouncing Delver instead of a Tarmogoyf. Actually does kind of make me want a Pyroclasm though. It'll only take out the Lieutenant, but right now that's the only thing it can take out, and pretty soon it won't be able to take out the Lieutenant. Then again, we could play Goyf plus Delver, and that's pretty good. Visions puts a sorcery in the graveyard. That'll help Tarmogoyf. Probably not looking to do that just yet. Do I want to use Pyroclasm to take out this Thalia's Lieutenant? I could follow it up with either Delver, Mandrills, or Visions. I actually kind of want to play out one of these Blood Moons relatively soon. Then again, the opponent can still cast Collected Companies off of that forest, but it's going to shut off a very large portion of their deck. Including this Gavany Township, which I quite like. Obviously, this is not a spot for Blood Moon. We're not doing it yet. But I could very much see doing it in 2 or 3 turns. Do I want to just play out my dudes? Or do I want to deal with their dudes? I think this lieutenant is going to get pretty big pretty fast. So I'm going to take it out. But I think we're going to play out the Delver as our follow-up instead of the Mandrills, because playing the Mandrills is going to end up shrinking our Tarmogoyf. So let's start there. Deal with the Lieutenant, and I think we're just going to play out a Delver of Secrets. We could go for Serum Visions instead. How good is that? Gets us a little closer to playing Goyf plus something, but we can already do Goyf plus Visions, Goyf plus Delver. I kind of want to play Goyf plus... Sorry, I kind of want to play Delver right now because it just gets it that much closer to transforming by playing it a turn earlier. And that means we might have a 3-2 sooner, which would be quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Playing the Visions means we get to our cards sooner, which is also something to go for. I think I just want to go for the board right now, though. I'm not sure. I definitely think that I should have gotten that breeding pool and sequenced things better. Hallowed Fountain makes me want to play Blood Moon even more. We're definitely not doing it until Goyf or Mandrills come out, though. Otherwise, the opponent's probably just going to be too far ahead on board for Blood Moon to matter that much. Pyroclasm as a sorcery in the bin, though, means we don't necessarily need to go for the Visions if we top deck something else to play. Black, we could be seeing a Freebooter. Nope. Maybe a Pontiff. Sin Collector. Instant or sorcery. Alright, well, Visions is gone. Does it come back when Sin Collector leaves? It does not. Sin Collector permanently collects sins. Alright. Now we know. Don't think we want to block there. I'll take 2. Given that we're going to follow it up with a fatty, I think I can live with that. The opponent can only top deck 1 card. Don't think we attack with Delver of Secrets. What if it transforms? Still might want to hold it back to trade. Chart, of course. Well, we're going to reveal that. Don't think we're going to be casting yet because I want to cast a fatty. Now, if the opponent top decks Path to Exile, they can path our fatty and Township to make this a 3-4, which means Delver can't trade there. This will be a 3-2, which means I would want to trade here to conserve our life a little bit. I think we just have to play out the Tarmogoyf. If the opponent Townships, they draw Path, and we've attacked with Delver, then we are in fact dead. So I definitely want to play out this Tarmogoyf. Don't know if I want to attack with Delver, though, and be dead to Path to Exile. Puts the opponent down to 7. Means we have lethal next turn. That's certainly something. That is certainly something. They have Creature Instant in the bin. Trying to figure out how big Goyf would be if we play out Mandrills relatively soon. Possibly in conjunction with a Chart, of course. Do I just want to pass the turn? Probably. Yeah, I think our hand is good enough that we pass the turn and be a little more patient. I don't want to die to the 3 paths left in their deck. We can probably squeeze out the long game here. even with them having township. If they don't draw path, they can't attack. That's annoying, but still fine. We probably follow up here with the Blood Moon. Means we're never casting this chart, of course. But on the other hand, it also means our board is probably much better than their board. I also might want to just cast Hooting Mandrills here. Bolt. Okay. That changes the equation significantly. If we swing with the team and then Bolt face, we win, assuming they don't block. They're almost certainly going to block, though, so what blocks would they make? This has first strike. That doesn't matter because it won't be able to kill Goyf by itself, so Goyf would still trade with both things blocking it. Well, actually, they can get Thalia and Reflector Mage in front of the Tarmogoyf. Then Goyf only takes out one of them. Then we bolt something. I kind of want to do that. I also kind of don't want to do that. Well, if we attack with everything, we force them to make some blocks. If they chump with Sin Collector, we bolt Thalia, and then we play out Mandrills. If they chump with Reflector Mage, we do the same thing. If they chump with Thalia, we probably play Mandrills and just hold up the Lightning Bolt. If they double block Tarmogoyf, is that Steam note? Okay, there we go. Steam decided to leave us alone. If they double block the Tarmogoyf, what happens? Goyf eats one of two things. They're going to double block with these two if they do, because otherwise we eat both of these. Well, actually, no, they wouldn't make that block because Goyf would survive. So it has to be these two or these two. In which case, Thalia dies, we bolt something. The opponent goes down to 7 off of Delver, and then we play out a Hooting Mandrills. Pretty sure I want to attack. Now, on the other hand, we could just bolt this Thalia, play out Hooting Mandrills, and have 2 relatively beefy blockers. If I cast Hooting Mandrills right now, delving my entire yard, I want to attack with Delver, because I want to clock them, but I don't know if I'm getting in with Tarmogoyf. Probably, because we're forcing blocks, that's fine. If we weren't forcing blocks, I'd probably want to hold Goyf back, but by attacking with Tarmogoyf, we're essentially doing the same thing as blocking with Tarmogoyf, because if the opponent decides to not block the Tarmogoyf, we just win on the spot. Technically, they don't know that, but actually, we're probably just going to bolt mid double block, which is somehow something I didn't consider. Oh, that's a bad block. Don't do that. Why did you do that? Alright, so we're going to bolt Thalia. These two are each going to do 2 damage to Goyf, and Goyf is going to laugh at them. That blocking order is just fine. I don't know why they did that, but I think they just gave us the game. Goyf's going to eat those. That seems fine. Opponent goes to 7, and do I just want to chart a course instead of playing Mandrills? Or do I flood the board? Probably flood the board. Delve 2 bolts, a flooded strand. Do they have a fetch in the yard? They don't. I could get rid of another bolt. I guess we'll just get rid of Pyroclasm. Ah, drat. Yeah, I messed up. Yep. So that happened. Kind of forgot that Goyf had 4 damage on it. Probably should have just played Chart a Course. Yeah. Alright, well, they scooped. So, we were far enough ahead, but, don't do what I just did, and you'll probably win a better percentage of your games. Anyways, hopefully you all enjoyed that video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. And I even talked about how Goyf survived because they only put 4 4 power in front of it, given that we had the bolt, and yeah, never do that. If the opponent had a couple more cards in hand, we very well may have lost. Probably chart a course there. Draw some cards, keep your 4-5 in play. Yeah. Alright. See you guys in the finale.